Join me as I dive into the drama and try to uncover the truth behind Kristi Noem exposing the leakers who betrayed the immigration raids. Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, has always been a strong advocate for transparency and security when it comes to immigration enforcement. She believes that it's essential to uphold the law while also being accountable to the people she serves. Leaking sensitive information about immigration raids is a serious offense that can have devastating consequences. It's a betrayal of trust that can put entire operations at risk, and it's a slap in the face to the hardworking men and women in law enforcement who put their lives on the line every day to keep our communities safe. These leaks can be especially damaging when they come from within, perpetuated by those who have access to confidential information and are supposed to be working towards a common goal. When you have individuals leaking information for personal gain or to push a political agenda, it undermines the entire system and creates an environment of mistrust and suspicion. It's a toxic cycle that can have a ripple effect, causing good people to question the motives of others and erode the foundation of trust that's essential to effective law enforcement. Ultimately, leaked information can be a matter of life and death, giving criminals a heads up to evade capture or even retaliate against law enforcement. It's a reckless disregard for human life, and it's unacceptable. There have been several instances where leaks have compromised immigration raids, and the consequences have been dire. For example, in one notable case, a raid was foiled when confidential information was leaked to the media, allowing criminal organizations to scatter and avoid capture. The fallout was significant, with many innocent lives put at risk and valuable resources wasted. In another instance, a leak led to the identification of an undercover agent, putting their life in grave danger and compromising the entire operation. These are just a few examples of the devastating impact that leaks can have, and it's essential that we take a stand against this betrayal of trust. Governor Kristi Noem has had enough of these leaks, and she's taking bold action to expose those responsible. She's been vocal about her commitment to transparency and accountability, and she's not afraid to call out those who would put politics or personal gain above the safety of American citizens. Her statements have been unequivocal, leaving no doubt that she will not tolerate this kind of behavior from anyone, regardless of their position or influence. Kristi Noem's actions send a strong message that she will not be swayed by political pressure or personal agendas. She's willing to take on the tough fights to protect the people of South Dakota and uphold the rule of law. Her bold stance is a beacon of hope for those who believe in the importance of integrity in government. In conclusion, the importance of integrity in immigration enforcement cannot be overstated. It's crucial that we protect sensitive operations and hold those accountable who would betray that trust. Kristi Noem's commitment to transparency and security is a breath of fresh air in a world where politics often takes precedence over people. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your thoughts on this issue in the comments below. If you want to learn more about immigration policies and their impact on our communities, be sure to check out my previous video on the topic.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says that they have identified the leakers who exposed the locations of upcoming immigrations and custom enforcement raids. This is a big deal. Bill Malugin has got the details. Bill.
Yeah, John, good afternoon to you. Just a short time ago, DHS officials confirmed to Fox News they say they have identified 2 people within DHS who they say they have caught leaking information about ICE operations to different targets and then put those operations in jeopardy. We got a video from DHS Secretary Kristi Noem herself making this announcement, was just sent over to us. Take a look.
Everyone, I wanted to give you a quick update. We have identified 2 leakers of information here at the Department of Homeland Security who have been telling individuals about our operations and putting law enforcement lives in jeopardy. We plan to prosecute these 2 individuals and hold them accountable for what they've done. And we're going to continue to do all that we can to keep America safe.
And a DHS spokesperson also sent us the following statement on record, which says, quote, "We are preparing to refer these perpetrators to the DOJ for felony prosecutions. These individuals face up to 10 years in federal prison. We will find and root out all leakers. They will face prison time, and we will get justice for the American people." Now, to that point, we do want to point out that this is just a referral. It is ultimately going to be up to the Department of Justice on whether or not they want to move forward with prosecutions of these alleged leakers. You have to keep in mind these individuals, whoever they are, will also have due process, and they would have to be either found guilty or put in a guilty plea if we want to talk about any sort of prison time. But guys, this is obviously very significant. You're looking at video from an ICE raid in Aurora, Colorado last month. I was on that operation. It failed. It leaked. There were media reports that the raid was coming days in advance. The same thing happened for an operation here in Los Angeles. Another operation in Virginia just leaked a few days ago. There was also another leak in Chicago. These leaks have been widespread. It has happened multiple times. They have seemed to be getting worse and worse. And we've seen people from the Trump administration going on television saying that these leaks are putting ICE officers in jeopardy. It's putting the operations in jeopardy, and that they're going to track down, find these leakers, and prosecute them. And according to DHS and Secretary Noem, it appears they've taken the first step towards that process. Again, they say they've identified 2 people within DHS. That's important. They're within the Department of Homeland Security, so they're privy to this information, and they're going to seek to prosecute them. They'll send those referrals over to DOJ. DOJ will take a look at it. It will be up to DOJ to decide whether or not to move forward with any type of potential prosecution. But some breaking news here on this Friday for you guys. John.
All right, Bill Malugin for us with the breaking news update. Bill, thank you.
Donald Trump has a secret weapon in the political arena: the failures of Joe Biden's immigration policies. Under Biden, border crossings have surged to unprecedented levels, leaving communities feeling overwhelmed and unsafe. This has become a rallying cry for Trump and his supporters, who argue that strong borders are essential for national security. The Biden administration's approach has led to chaos at the southern border, with humanitarian crises worsening daily. Critics are quick to point out that the lack of clear policies has fueled misinformation and division among Americans. Trump capitalizes on this frustration, painting a vivid picture of a lawless border and promising to restore order. His supporters are drawn to the idea of a return to stricter immigration controls and the perceived safety it would bring. As the midterms approach, expect Trump to leverage these failures in his campaign, arguing that only he can fix what Biden has broken. The question remains, will American voters prioritize immigration in their decision-making? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights and updates. Join me as I dive deep into Biden's biggest mistake and see if I can uncover why voters are craving pain over policy. It's clear that Joe Biden's approach to policymaking might be overlooking a critical aspect of the American electorate: the emotional and psychological needs of voters. As we'll explore today, this oversight could be the key to understanding why many Americans seem to be craving something more than just policy solutions. There's a clear disconnect between the policies being pushed by the Biden administration and the desire for relief from the current hardships felt by many Americans. The truth is, people are hurting, and they want to know that their leaders understand and empathize with their struggles. The problem is, Biden's policies often feel like they're not speaking to the pain and frustration that many Americans are feeling on a daily basis. Meanwhile, the emotional toll of the pandemic, economic uncertainty, and social unrest continues to weigh heavily on people's minds and hearts. As a result, many Americans are left feeling unheard, unseen, and unrepresented. They're not just looking for policy solutions, they're searching for a sense of acknowledgement and understanding from their leaders. Unfortunately, the Biden administration's policies often seem to be failing to address this deeper emotional need. Instead of speaking to the emotional pain felt by so many, the policies being pushed often feel like they're just scratching the surface of the problem, leaving many Americans feeling ignored and overlooked. The reality is, people are tired of being told that everything will be okay, that the economy is growing, or that things are getting better. They want to know that their leaders understand that things are tough, and that they're not alone in their struggles. They want to feel seen, heard, and represented, and that's just not happening right now. Take, for example, the recent stimulus packages that were touted as a solution to the economic hardship faced by many Americans. While they might have provided some temporary relief, they ultimately failed to address the deeper concerns and frustrations felt by those who are struggling to make ends meet. Or consider the Biden administration's response to the ongoing pandemic. Instead of acknowledging the fear, anxiety, and uncertainty felt by many Americans, the focus has been on pushing policies that often feel tone-deaf to the reality on the ground. Another example is the administration's approach to social unrest and racial tensions. Instead of taking a moment to acknowledge the pain and frustration felt by marginalized communities, the focus has been on pushing policies that often feel like they're just band-aid solutions to deeper problems. The reality is, people want to know that their leaders understand the depth of their pain and are committed to doing something meaningful about it. But there's a critical moment when it becomes clear that voters are seeking more than just policy solutions. They want empathy and acknowledgement of their struggles. It's the moment when you realize that people aren't just looking for a solution to their problems, they're looking for someone to understand them, to see them, and to hear them. And that's exactly what the Biden administration has been failing to provide. In this moment, it becomes clear that the disconnect between Biden's policies and the desires of the electorate isn't just about policy solutions, it's about emotional connection. It's about understanding that, at the end of the day, people aren't just looking for a better healthcare plan or a stronger economy, they're looking for a sense of hope, a sense of purpose, and a sense of being seen and heard. In summary, it's clear that the Biden administration's approach to policymaking has been overlooking the emotional and psychological needs of voters. By ignoring this critical aspect of the American electorate, the administration is not only failing to address the immediate concerns and frustrations of the electorate but is also missing an opportunity to build a deeper connection with the people they're supposed to be serving. Thanks for watching. If you have thoughts on Biden's approach, be sure to share them in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about voter sentiments and political strategies, be sure to check out my other video on the topic.